Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Steelers pressed to make splash higher. Pittsburgh. Following a disappointing season for the Pittsburgh Steelers, the team will go through yet another offseason full of changes. Changes are expected to come both on the roster and within the team staff. Ray Fittipaldo, Steelers writer for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, believes that the Steelers could benefit by adding an assistant in a consulting role. The Steelers have done so before, when they added Brian Flores as a defensive assistant for the 2022 season. Now, Fittipaldo believes they could make a similar move again. He cites the fact that incoming New England Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel spent this past season with the Cleveland Browns as an assistant to back up his argument. Some assistants will go. They just haven't been announced or leaked out yet, Fittipaldo wrote. As far as major moves go, maybe Tomlin can get one of the coaches who doesn't land a head coaching job. The Browns added Mike Vrabel last year as a consultant. The Steelers should do that this year with some coaches who are currently out of a job. There is a decent amount of coaches available without a job that could benefit from a short-term job with the Steelers organization. One option is former Saints head coach Dennis Allen. Another such option is Mike McCarthy, whose firing from the Dallas Cowboys came as a surprise to some due to his success in the prior seasons with the team. McCarthy was born and raised in the Greenfield neighborhood of Pittsburgh, and grew up a Steelers fan. He spent 3 years with the University of Pittsburgh football team as both a graduate assistant and wide receivers coach. As a coach with an offensive background, McCarthy could bring a spark to a Steelers team that has lacked much of anything on that side of the ball. Historic NFL franchise intrigued by possibility of Jalen Milroe replacing $300 million QB. Let the NFL draft speculation begin. 2 years with Crimson Tide quarterback Jalen Milroe starting under center went by faster than a speeding bullet, and now he's drawing serious interest from a respected NFL franchise ahead of next week's Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama. According to Andrew Filipponi, the Pittsburgh Steelers love Milroe and are reportedly intrigued at the possibility of him becoming a superstar quarterback at the NFL level. Not to mention, but head coach Mike Tomlin will be in attendance at the Senior Bowl with Milroe expected to partake in the infamous offseason showcase. Despite Tomlin's remarkable run of 18 consecutive winning seasons, he has yet to find a true game-changing successor at quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger retired following the 2021 season. Shockingly, the Steelers have already had 5 different field generals take the starting reins since Big Ben called it quits with both Russell Wilson and Justin Fields taking snaps for the Steelers this past fall. Now, the black and yellow find themselves at a crossroads at the most important position in football heading into the offseason. Most NFL scouts believe Milroe has the upside of someone like 2-time MVP Lamar Jackson. That said, Milroe still needs to prove he can be a consistently accurate passer in the NFL, where the windows are much smaller for fitting the ball in. While his escapability and run game abilities are off the charts, it is often a challenge for him to layer throws into the intermediate areas of the field. However, he has much more potential than an aging Russell Wilson, who is set to be an unrestricted free agent. Despite earning over $305 million throughout his career, Wilson made just $1.2 million in 2024, which clearly shows the Steelers and the rest of the NFL no longer view him in high regard. All things considered, Milroe's tantalizing potential may be too much for the Steelers to pass up. While he needs to refine his passing, there's a clear blueprint for the former Alabama standout to become a franchise cornerstone for years to come. Steelers QB Russell Wilson offers update on possible free agency. Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Russell Wilson revealed his plans ahead of free agency, including where he intends to retire. The Pittsburgh Steelers crashed and burned in the final month of their ill-fated season. Once again, the offense wasn't enough to complement a strong defense and paled compared to the AFC frontrunners with Titans under center. But picking 21st overall makes it hard to find a franchise quarterback, and no golden goose is waiting for them on the market. Between Justin Fields' development and Russell Wilson's pedigree, Pittsburgh has a choice to make at quarterback. On Wednesday, Wilson spoke out on free agency rumors and the possibility of retirement during the Pat McAfee Show. Going into Pittsburgh was a special place for me, Wilson said. I love it, and hopefully I can play there a lot longer. It's a special place because of the guys in the locker room and the traditions and the people and the winning, plus you got Mike Tomlin, who's arguably the best coach of all time, one of the top ones. I got so much more in me, man. Wilson won 6 of his first 7 starts with the Steelers, and his record wasn't a mirage. He was playing his best football since leaving the Seattle Seahawks, elevated the offense with a more effective downfield passing game, and was operating with suboptimal receivers and an underwhelming ground game. However, losing 4 regular seasons before a 28-14 rout by the Baltimore Ravens in the wild-card round justifiably soured the taste in everybody's mouth. Sure, Wilson can be competent. But can he compete while Pittsburgh's defensive stars age out of their prime? The Steelers, seemingly, think it's possible, attempting to re-sign Wilson ahead of free agency in March. I think first of all, yes, we have been starting to talk a little bit, obviously, and we've had our meetings and everything else, and kind of just getting into it, he said. Pittsburgh will presumably bank on Wilson's production improving with another offseason to add to his supporting cast. Additional investments at receiver, a healthy offensive line, and more time with offensive coordinator Arthur Smith are all reasons to be optimistic. Wilson finished his 2024 season completing 63.7% of his passes for 2,482 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. His yards per attempt, quarterback rating, and sack percentage were all at his best since leaving Seattle. And you, fan? What do you think about Russell Wilson's exit? Leave your opinion in the comments.